Hey YouTube, what's up? Jeff Small with SmallTalkTV here, and this video I was going to address a couple comments that I've been getting on my videos. They've been along the lines of, oh, you're just a stupid kid, you're using it too much, marijuana did nothing to you. And I want to start off by saying that marijuana is great. There's a lot of good things that come from it. I think being at that heightened sensitivity, you can kind of reflect on yourself. You can get new ideas, you can see things through new perspectives. And there's a lot of great things to marijuana. You can relax. There's just a lot of great things. There's some medical benefits from it too. Like whenever I would work out really hard and I would smoke, I would feel my muscles would relax and I wouldn't feel sore anymore. And I just want to say that it's a great plant, and the thing is that I just started using it too much and I got into a cycle of using it too much. And I think when I started using it too much, I could kind of tell. It was kind of gray area, but I definitely got the feeling. I started off smoking like once every month, then I started smoking once every week, and then I started smoking every day. And once I reached that everyday point, I kind of knew that I was abusing it. I kind of got that gut feeling, but I think it's a great plant if you can use it right. And this video I was just going to give my definition of use versus abuse with marijuana. And I think when you use marijuana properly, it should be something that you do not too often. It shouldn't be something regular. It should be something that you do on occasion. There are some people that do it every day that can get along great, but I don't think that would ever work with me doing it every day, because I would end up doing it all day, I think. But I think if you were going to use it properly, I don't think you should be using it as kind of I don't think it should be something that's regular. I think it should be something that you do every once in a while, maybe once every week, once every 2 weeks, something along those lines. And I think you should really use it to reflect on yourself, or manage your pain or anything like that. I think you should have a purpose to use it. I don't think it should just be to get high. I mean, it could be. I guess you could just do it to relax or something like that. That would be fine. But if you find yourself doing it all the time just to catch a buzz, or like, oh, I want to be high for this, like this sucks, I want to be high for this, I think that's kind of abusing it. And I want to talk about a couple forms of abusing marijuana. The first form that I want to talk about is the form that I was abusing it, or the way I was abusing it. I was abusing it in a way that I would do it every day, all day. And every time I would do it, I want to reflect and learn something about myself. Maybe explore something about myself, maybe watch a documentary or something like that, and think about things. But I think when you smoke every day to reflect on yourself, you get into a constant cycle of reflecting on yourself, and then you don't have anything to analyze or think about, and so you end up just smoking all day and just thinking about, and just kind of going over things again and again. And I don't think that's healthy. You kind of get into a cycle of self-reflection where you're not really doing anything, you're just thinking about things, or thinking about things you might do, and that can definitely lead you to being lazy and not doing anything all day. And I think when you're smoking multiple times a day and you're using it to reflect on yourself, there's nothing to really reflect on, because you're just sitting around all day and you're just reflecting on nothing. And that's the point that I think I reached. I didn't really have much to think about. I would just smoke and then try to think about something, then get distracted and fall asleep or something like that. Or I'd try to learn something from a documentary and I would forget it. But I do think it's great to use for reflection if you're using it every once in a while. Another form of abuse that I don't know if people really realize, but those people that just want to get high before everything, I think that's definitely abusing it. I think you should be able to enjoy yourself sober, and I don't think you should always have that itch to be high before something. You know, like you're about to go do something, oh, I gotta get high for this. I also abused it in this way too, but when I was about to go do something, I would always want to be high before it. And I think that's definitely a really dangerous path, because then if you ever try to quit, you kind of realize that things aren't as fun when you're sober, and it's really hard to get used to that. But yeah, I think that's another form of abuse. Another way that I've never abused it, but I know a lot of people do and a lot of people talk about it, is they use it to get away from the problems rather than to face them. And usually other drugs are associated with that, like, you know, just numbing out kind of thing, but I guess you can do it with marijuana too. A lot of people talk about just getting high and escaping their problems. You know, people that don't have their shit together, people that don't have many friends, they just use it to get away from depression or anxiety. And I also think, I know that marijuana can be used to treat depression and anxiety, but I think that's really bad. I don't think that's I know there are some cases where you can use it to treat that kind of thing, but I think marijuana makes your depression worse, because then when you're sober, you're even more depressed, it feels like, at least in my case, because I've been not really depressed, but kind of in a rut, I guess, where I've just been a lot of negative thinking, stuff like that, and marijuana has just made that worse when I'm sober. I think that's definitely one form of abuse, when you're just using it to get away from everything, just trying to numb out, and I think that's what the public kind of portrays potheads as doing. But I know a lot of people don't do that, but I do know a lot of people that do that, that just use it to get away from things. I definitely think that's bad. I think using marijuana before something that everybody else isn't using marijuana is also pretty bad, because I know sometimes when I went to basketball games high or something like that, or like a football game high, I would get the worst social anxiety, because I would just be over analyzing things. Like if someone looked at me, I would just be thinking about that for 5 minutes, and I think that's really bad to be doing, just getting high before everything, even if nobody else is getting high with you, just getting high and talking to sober people. I guess it can work for some people, but for me that definitely didn't work, and that definitely gave me a lot of social anxiety. Yeah, but I think there's a lot of ways you can use marijuana properly, but I think when you end up doing it a lot and doing it before everything and trying to catch a buzz before everything, using it to escape your problems, getting in a constant cycle of reflection, stuff like that, I guess that's kind of a sign that you might be abusing it. And for any of you guys that smoke weed every day, I want to offer you guys a challenge, because you guys are exactly how I was. I would smoke every day and I'd be like, oh yeah, I could quit anytime I wanted to. Like, I'm not addicted to this stuff. And I want to offer you guys a challenge. I'm not going to give you anything for it, because this is for your personal improvement. But I just want to tell you guys that, or I just want to offer that, just try stopping for just 3 weeks. Just 3 weeks without it. And if you go fine, you don't have any withdrawal symptoms, you don't get depressed, you don't feel weird, you don't feel bad, you're not craving it, then go ahead, keep using it. I guess that's great for you. I think if you can control it and you're not depending on it, you're not using it as a crutch, I think that's great for you. But if you are experiencing withdrawal symptoms, you should probably try to take at least a month or two off after those 3 weeks, just so you can kind of reset and get rid of your ties to marijuana, I guess, and just detox it out of your body. Just really try to enjoy yourself being sober, and just try getting back to your roots, I guess. And then maybe if you want to smoke after that and just control it a little more, I think that'll be a good suggestion. But yeah, guys, this is my video on use versus abuse. If you guys liked it, leave a thumbs up. If you guys didn't like it, leave a thumbs down. Subscribe if you guys like my videos, and peace out.